The afternoon sun blazed down on a busy city street, its heat bouncing off the concrete jungle. Among the crowd of hurried pedestrians and the hum of traffic, Elon Musk, dressed in a simple jacket and jeans, was walking back to his car after a long meeting. Just as he passed a corner, his gaze fell on a man sitting on the sidewalk. The man's clothes were tattered, his face marked by exhaustion and hardship. He clutched a small sign that read, "Veteran in need, please help." Musk slowed his pace, his heart heavy at the sight. There was something about the man's weary eyes that compelled him to stop. "Excuse me, sir," Musk said, crouching down to meet his gaze. "What's your name?" The man hesitated before replying, "Robert, sir. Robert Henderson. I served in the army. Things haven't been easy since I got out." Musk nodded, absorbing the words. "Have you eaten today?" Robert shook his head, too proud to ask for help but too desperate to refuse it. Musk immediately flagged down a nearby food vendor and bought sandwiches, water, and fruit. "Here," he said, handing the meal to Robert. "Let's get you something to eat first." As Robert began eating, Musk sat down on the edge of the sidewalk, ignoring the curious glances from passers-by. He asked about Robert's life, his time in the military, and how he ended up on the streets. Robert spoke of battles fought overseas, the injury that cut his career short, and the struggles of reintegrating into civilian life. "It's been tough," Robert admitted, his voice barely above a whisper. "No one wants to hire someone like me." Musk's expression hardened with determination. "That changes today," he said firmly. "Let me help you." As the sun began to set, Elon Musk stayed by Robert's side, ensuring the veteran finished his meal. Passers-by slowed, whispering among themselves at the sight of the billionaire sitting on the sidewalk, but Musk paid no attention. His focus was solely on Robert. "Do you have a place to sleep tonight?" Musk asked. Robert hesitated, then shook his head. "I usually find a bench or somewhere out of the way," he admitted. "But it's getting colder these days." Musk frowned. "That's not acceptable," he said firmly, standing up. He took out his phone and made a quick call. After a brief conversation, he turned back to Robert. "There's a small hotel not far from here. I've booked you a room for a week. It's not much, but it'll give you a safe place to rest." Robert's eyes widened, his voice trembling. I don't know what to say. Thank you." Musk helped him to his feet and waved down his driver, who pulled up moments later. Together they drove to the modest but clean hotel. Musk ensured Robert was checked in and even arranged for a warm dinner to be sent to his room. As Robert stood in the doorway of his room, he seemed overwhelmed by the simple luxury of it. A clean bed, a private bathroom, a space to call his own, even if only for a while. "I haven't slept in a bed in years," he said quietly. Musk placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Rest tonight. Tomorrow we'll figure out the next steps." For the first time in years, Robert felt a glimmer of hope. That night, as he lay in bed, he thought about how a simple act of kindness from a stranger had already begun to change his life. The next morning, Robert woke up to the soft rays of sunlight filtering through the hotel curtains. For the first time in years, he felt rested. He stretched and took a moment to appreciate the quiet comfort of the room. A bed, clean sheets, and a space that was his, even temporarily. It felt surreal. For so long, he had been at the mercy of the streets, where safety and rest were fleeting luxuries. A knock at the door interrupted his thoughts. When he opened it, Elon Musk stood there with a warm smile, holding 2 cups of coffee. "Good morning, Robert. I hope you slept well." Robert nodded, his gratitude evident. "Better than I have in a long time. Thank you, Mr. Musk." "Please call me Elon," Musk replied, handing him a cup. "Now let's talk about the future." They sat down at the small table in the room, and Musk began outlining his plan. "I've spoken with a few contacts of mine. There's a job opening at one of my companies, something manageable but meaningful. It's a starting point, Robert, a chance to get back on your feet." Robert's hands trembled slightly as he held the coffee cup. "I don't know if I'm ready," he admitted. "It's been so long since anyone believed in me." Musk leaned forward, his tone firm yet kind. "Everyone deserves a second chance, Robert. You've served your country with honor. Now it's time for others to support you. All I ask is that you try." Later that day, Musk accompanied Robert to the company's local office, where he introduced him to the manager. The team welcomed Robert warmly, showing him the ropes and giving him a chance to prove himself. They treated him not as a charity case, but as a capable individual ready to contribute. By the end of the day, Robert was officially employed. As they walked out of the office together, Musk turned to him. "This is just the beginning, Robert. Use this opportunity to rebuild your life." Robert nodded, his voice steady for the first time in years. "I will. You have my word. Thank you for not giving up on me." Musk smiled. "You earned this, Robert. Now it's your time to shine." The days turned into weeks, and Robert settled into his new role with determination. His colleagues quickly grew to admire his work ethic and his willingness to learn. For the first time in years, Robert felt a sense of purpose. Every morning he woke up with a reason to push forward, a stark contrast to the endless uncertainty of his life on the streets. Elon Musk checked in periodically, ensuring Robert had the support he needed. "How's everything going?" Musk asked during one of their calls. "It's better than I could have imagined," Robert replied. "I feel human again." Musk's voice carried a smile. "That's what I like to hear. Remember, this is just the start." But Robert wasn't content with just rebuilding his own life. As he walked to work one morning, he passed a group of homeless individuals huddled together for warmth. The sight brought back memories of his own struggles, the cold nights, the hunger, and the despair. He couldn't ignore it. That evening, he reached out to a local organization that provided support for homeless veterans. "I want to help," Robert told them. "Whatever it takes, I want to give back." Over the following months, Robert began volunteering at shelters, sharing his story with others who had lost hope. He spoke about the importance of perseverance, about how even in the darkest moments, help could come from the most unexpected places. At one event, Robert stood before a room full of veterans and community members, his voice steady as he addressed the crowd. "A stranger believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself," he said. "That belief saved my life. Now, I want to pass that hope on to others." In the audience, Musk watched quietly, his expression one of pride and respect. After the event, he approached Robert. "You've done more than just rebuild your life. You're creating change," Musk said. Robert smiled, his eyes reflecting gratitude and determination. "I learned from the best," he replied. For Robert, the journey from despair to hope wasn't just about survival, it was about finding purpose. And for Musk, it was a reminder of the power of compassion to spark transformation in ways no one could predict. And that's the end of our story. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next story. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.